Hello, my name is Colin Betts. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, 2011. I'm here at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. I'm speaking with Sergeant First Class Albert Craven, an active duty soldier with the 4th Maneuver Enhancement Brigade from Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, about his life and service. I'd like to start with where you're from, which is Alexandria, Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're a Saints fan?
Big time.
Big time Saints fan? Okay,
Big time.
great. Did you play sports in high school or?
Yes, I did. I played basketball and 1 year college.
Okay. Where'd you go to college?
Grambling State University in Louisiana.
Where's that, I'm sorry?
Grambling State University.
Oh, okay. What did you study in college?
Business management.
Okay. Have you lived anywhere else?
As a civilian or in the military?
Before you entered the military?
No, the same place.
Same place? It's your hometown?
Mm-hmm.
How close is it to Fort Polk?
Probably about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half? How big is Alexandria?
It's probably about 45,000 people.
Okay. Were you ever stationed there, trained there?
Never.
Okay. I have a sibling. How big was your family?
I had 2 sisters and 1 brother.
Okay. Are they older?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest?
Mm-hmm.
Was it a military family?
Yes, my father was retired Army.
Okay. How many years did he serve?
Well, he was I guess medically retired. He got hurt in Vietnam. I think it took like a year, then he got hurt, so he had to retire. He got hurt, I think, in a tank explosion, I think, so he's like disabled right now.
Your family in general, are they sort of pro-military?
Yes.
Okay. When you joined the military, can you describe some of their reactions? Were they happy, disappointed?
To tell you the truth, I came home from high school one day and there was a recruiter car in front of my house, so it's more they pushed me to join the military, which is probably the best thing that ever happened.
Really?
Yeah.
How did they push you?
Like I say, I just came home one day and there was a car in front of my house that said U.S. Army, so, and I talked to the recruiter in my house and I just, enlisted. I was in the National Guard then, though. I did like a year and a half in the National Guard, then I joined the regular Army.
Okay. And you enlisted in 1989?
National Guard 1987. I did
Okay.
about a year and 8, 9 months, and I joined the regular Army, 89.
Okay. Why did you choose to go regular Army?
I was in college and I just wasn't focused enough to do work, and I just wanted to do something better with my life, so I just joined the Army. So.
Okay. And you don't ever regret that at all?
Yes, sometimes I do. I try to stay in, finish college, but now look at it now, it's probably the best thing for me just to do what I'm doing now. That wasn't, wouldn't have worked out, I don't think.
Okay. Why did you join the National Guard?
For college tuition exemption, and that's pretty much it. College tuition exemption.
Okay. One of our books by Kinsvater, The American Soldier, talks about realities of the Army versus preconceptions.
Mm-hmm.
How close was your idea of what the Army was to what you actually experienced?
When I first enlisted?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be more, I guess, with camo on your face and running around all day, but it wasn't anything like that. It was almost like having a job.
Like a regular 9 to 5?
Yes, a regular job.
Do you like that aspect?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, are you doing the job that you wanted to do?
Am I right now?
In the Army, yes.
Well, truthfully, I just I just deployed to Afghanistan. I just got back this year, and I didn't think this for my career that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. But I love it though. I love it.
Okay. And what is your job exactly?
I'm a platoon sergeant of a. I have a fuel section, I have a water section, and a distribution section. It picks up cargo.
Okay. What exactly is your MOS?
88 Mike,
Okay.
transportation.
Okay. Some people might think of that as just
Truck driver.
being a truck driver.
Yeah, but it's a lot more than that though.
It's more than that?
Yeah, it is.
So what else is there besides just driving a truck?
Learning how to make sure loads are compatible, learning how to make sure loads are tied down, the long hours of driving. You know, if you look in Iraq and Afghanistan and found that most people got killed or us, because we was on the road going back and forth on the road. So it's very stressful down right, because you come back, you got one day down, you be the next day going out to pick up another load.
So you did a lot of driving?
Yeah.
How many hours on the road would you be maybe?
Sometime 11, 12 hours a day.
That sounds like a lot of driving.
Yeah.
What about equipment did you work on? Did you do any specific sort of mechanic work as part of your driving?
No. We just check the fluid levels and make sure that the right air pressure in the tires, and like a basically a PMCS.
Okay. What is PMCS?
Preventive maintenance checks and services of your vehicle.
And what does that entail?
It just makes sure that at my level that the vehicle's safe to go on the road. And if I have something that I can't handle, then that's when maintenance comes in and fix it.
Okay. Have you ever had problems with your vehicles?
Not really. Nah, not really. Because if you check them, and make sure that they have the right fluid levels in them, and they're some good trucks.
Okay.
Pretty good trucks.
Now you're married?
Yes.
How long?
20 years, 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What's it like being married, being an active duty soldier?
It's easy. My wife is very supportive. I don't have to worry about. My wife knows that in some cases the Army comes first, because the Army pays the bills. The Army, is why she drives the car she drives, and everything else. So it's very, very supportive.
That's good. In what ways is she supportive?
I don't have to worry about coming home and dealing with the kids as much, because she takes care of that. If I come home sometime and I don't fly iron my uniform, she iron my uniform for me. And she works too, so she works 8 hours a day. So I don't have to worry about her scheduling appointments when she know I can't go, because I have something to do at work, which could be stressful, because some guys, when your wife has something going on, and then you have to go on a mission when your wife needs you, that's you got to choose. But my wife is good about this. She doesn't mix my work with house, so she always schedules appointments around my work. So that's good.
Does she do more of the household work?
I do more the picking up. She does more of like the final cleaning. I just hate coming home and having to clutter the house. I pick everything up and she'll make it nice and pretty.
Okay. What about paying bills?
I pay pretty much 85% of the bills.
Do you live on or off post?
On post.
What are your quarters like?
It's beautiful. I got a 4-bedroom, 2-car garage. Fully carpeted.
Nice place?
Yes, it's nice. Very nice.
Okay. And you have kids?
Yeah, 3. 3 girls.
3 kids. Wow. How old?
18, 14, and 13.
Males, females?
Females, all girls.
All girls?
Yeah.
What's it like being a dad of girls? All girls?
I was the apple of their eye, but now I'm becoming the enemy right now. So, which is probably a good thing. I'm hard on them.
You're hard on them?
Yeah.
How are you hard?
They can't do certain things. No tattoos. No going out. And it's not anything wrong with tattoos, but in certain places. But anyway, I don't let them go out. They sports. They play sport. They all honor roll students. You know.
Okay. They don't. Do you let them get away with stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. Too much. The back talk. When I was younger, I couldn't talk back to my parents. But now I'm just like, you know, it's more of me asking now. Can you please do this, or will you please do this for me? It's not. When I was younger, it's like, do this. You know. And they still don't do it, so sometimes.
Now that we've gotten to your background a little bit, I want to talk about morale and coping skills.
Mm-hmm.
And soldiers have different ways of relieving stress. What do you like to do when you're off duty?
I have a Mustang, believe it or not. It's like my outlet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my outlet.
What kind of Mustang? What year?
That's a 2003.
Now, is this something you like to work on or drive or?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay. Is this something you do by yourself or do you drive around with other people?
Alone.
Okay.
Myself.
Has this changed at all since deployments, or?
As far as what?
Were there other recreational activities, or primarily just the car?
Watching sports a lot. I just watch sports a lot. Just get off work and sit on the couch and watch sports.
Do your daughters ever watch sports with you?
Football, yes, football.
Yeah. Big football fans?
Oh, yes.
Can you describe your morale before deployment, during, and after deployment? Did it change at all? Any reasons?
Before was probably not knowing what the future's going to lead. During was probably always on the edge. And after, I mean, like to this day, I'm still, I can't sit with my back facing the door no more. I just can't do it. I got to sit with my face. I'm always more attentive now of my surroundings.
Do you find yourself being more hyper aware?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes.
Is this in any situation, every situation?
Anywhere. And I can be in a restaurant. I'm always looking. Even driving my car, I'm always looking in my mirrors. Always.
Okay. Would you describe people in your unit? Do they often feel the same way? Do you think?
No. Nah.
Different levels of morale, different things?
My unit right now, I think I've been in 22 years. This is probably the second best unit I've ever been in. It's like morale is very, very high right now. It's like a big family.
Okay. How do you feel about your current unit's effectiveness?
We have a lot of young people, you know, and that's kind of scary. But other than that, though, me and myself, my first sergeant, we got things on lock. So,
what does that mean on lock?
Pretty much telling them the way that it is instead of the way that they may think that it is. We tell them the way that it is.
Okay.
Even in personal life, you know, we always talk to them. You know, things that you have to do to make yourself a better person. You know.
Okay. Hua is a often used Army slang word. Hua means what?
And no matter what's going on at that moment, when you say hua, you get that sense of everything is okay, regardless of what's going on.
Describe a situation in which you use the word hua.
When I see like soldiers are not as attentive or having problem issues or think that something can't be done, you say hua, and that kind of shows them that you know where they're at right now, and you try to help them out.
As a sort of guide, leadership tool?
Yeah.
Okay. The Army's experimenting with caffeinated beef jerky. What do you think of this?
Is that like an MRE?
it's something to go into the MRE?
I don't eat MREs. I've eaten one since Desert Storm. I can't eat them.
You can't eat them?
No, I won't eat them.
Not at all? Not ever?
Never. I'd rather starve. Seriously, I'd rather starve. Just because during Desert Storm week, like 7 months is all we ate. I just can't do it. That's why when I go to the field, I always bring like some snacks to just for that meal that we don't eat hot. I eat like a oatmeal pie or something like that just to tide me over to dinner.
Pogie bake?
Yeah, poke bake, yeah.
And that's all you eat in the field? Just whatever you bring?
Pretty much.
Is it that you don't like the menus, or you're just sick and tired of it?
Just sick and tired of it.
Okay. Your past units, how have they addressed post-deployment transition?
A lot more training. My last deployment, I was on a validation team that we were selected to go to Afghanistan, and we would validate battalions on like my part of the pie was maintenance and logistics. So we were like with the ANA all the time, all the time by ourselves. So and we trained at Fort Wright for like 4 months before we left. So that was a big thing.
What was your homecoming like?
Oh, it was nice. It was nice.
In what way?
Very rewarding. You know, of all things you've been through. You know, you come home, and for that instance, everybody's smiling. You know, there's no crying. Well, I mean, there's tears of joy probably, but
joyful. Then you would say. Now, was that specifically with your family, or generally with the rest of the community?
Everybody. I mean, we flew into Maine, and we got like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there were people still out there just cheering, and so I mean, it's compared to 8 years ago, it's not as much in it like it used to be, but it's still there.
So it was more so 8 years ago?
Oh yeah, it's huge. But now since we're going back so much, you know.
Okay. According to some of our authors, what matters most to soldiers is that they feel their country and their community supports them.
Yes.
Do you feel that way?
Yes, I do.
In what ways are they supportive?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and what's amazing to me, the Army. You know, when you go down range, you see the Army has spent so much money on keeping us safe, like our vehicles, our equipment. I mean, it's amazing. It really is. And the pay that we receive down range, I mean, the extra $1,100, you know, $1,200. Just having like the small thing like internet in your room, having your own space now, having internet, having good food, you know, it's.
So, in your opinion, the Army tries to
Yes.
keep up morale during deployment?
Yes, they do. I mean, having rappers come over, having cheerleaders come over, having singers come over. It doesn't matter country, rap. Just having guys come over and just spend like Thanksgiving or Christmas with us. That's huge.
Okay. I want to move on to some questions about what civic duty means. Today's election day.
Mm-hmm.
What, in your opinion, is a citizen's basic civic duty or responsibility?
Can you explain?
There's different ways to express citizenship, voting or serving or other means. What do you think an American should be doing?
Voting.
Voting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you should serve unless it's in your heart. I don't think it's something that you should be obligated to do. I really don't. Because if you're not really into it, you're not going to enjoy yourself. And in the military, you have to enjoy yourself. The Army is, and I tell my soldiers, the Army is the best thing going right now. It's people out there don't realize the friendship, you know, having young soldiers come in the military, 18, 19 years old, without any guidance, and talking to those people, young people. And you know, the biggest thing with my soldiers, I tell them that I want to make sure that they're better than what I could ever be. You know, that's one thing I really stress, big time. You know, so.
Do you think your obviously better off for having served. Do you think
Oh,
you're
yes.
a better person?
Oh yes.
I'd like to discuss your unit now and its mission. About 5 or 6 years ago, the Army began restructuring called modularity. What is that?
Probably bringing a package together that once you deploy, that you don't have to keep reaching from A to B to get to C. You just have that one package that deploys together.
Okay. And what do these packages sort of look like?
A maintenance section, a fuel section, transportation, tankers, artillery, having just that one package when you deploy. So they're having a piecemeal from Fort Drum to get to Fort Knox and all over. Just have that one as one thing. That's what I would say.
Is that similar to combined arms?
Yes, yes.
And what is combined arms?
From what I just said, just putting together different units or battalions, put them in under one umbrella, instead of having to keep piecemealing. You know.
Do you think it works?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Because what's what you can do is deploy to Afghanistan and meet somebody over there that you never knew. Now you travel with the same people for a year, 2 years in the same umbrella now, instead of having, I'm at Fort Drum, then you get somebody from Fort Knox, then we deploy together, and then we don't know his capabilities, my capabilities, you know, so.
The mission of the 4th Maneuver Enhancement Brigade is to what?
Now we're on the full spectrum operations. We're going to just come off CSMRF, which we are like pretty much like Homeland Security or devastation relief, i.e. tornadoes, hurricanes. Now we're getting ready to transform into being a deployable brigade to, Afghanistan, Iraq, North Korea, and where we need to go.
So you're moving from more domestic operations
Yes.
to overseas?
Yeah.
What is full spectrum? What does that mean?
Full spectrum operations mean that we're ready to deploy to defend the United States at any time, in any location, under in any kind of circumstances.
You said something earlier, CMRF?
Yes, CSMRF.
CSMRF, what is that?
I knew you were going to ask me that. CSMRF, chemical, radiological, CSMRF. I forgot. I've got the acronym.
We'll come back to that. You said you're a platoon sergeant. You're in a base support battalion?
Yes.
So how does your unit operate in relation to other units? Other echelons above, below?
Like in the Alpha Company, we pretty much we had 3 sections. It was a distro section, then we had a fuel and water section, then we had a warehouse where the guys do supplies. Now we have 2, fuel and water falls under me now, then SSA, and we just pretty much support. And then you have Bravo Company, they're maintenance, so they pretty much just fix trucks or stuff like that. And then we have a 94 Signal Company that deals with commo. So.
Commo is?
Like radios, stuff like that.
Communication?
Yeah, communication.
Okay. And SSA is?
Support, supply. It's like the warehouse. When parts come in, they push them out where the parts need to go to.
Okay, parts warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people have a daily rhythm. They get up, brush their teeth, take a shower, check email. Do you have an operational training rhythm? What's an average day in your life, for instance?
PT means physical training. Then we come in at 09. And then any kind of mission that we have for that day, be it distribution, picking up cargo, fuel, or water, we do that. Or we support the battalion in any kind of taskings like honor guard, which is like funeral detail. What else? If we have to supply somebody to go work with maintenance on our trucks, that person go work on the trucks with maintenance, stuff like that, pretty much.
Do you get up at the same time every day?
Yes.
What time?
About 5:15.
5:15?
Mm.
That's early for some people.
Yeah.
When you come home every day, is it usually same time?
About 1700.
And 1700?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay. You've been on funeral details?
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
What was that like? What happened?
You just show up to you practice for like a month before you tasked to do it, and you just on call for if someone in the area dies. Like each post has a different area, and if like a war veteran dies or even somebody's enlisted in the military, you go do the funeral. You carry the casket. You present the flag to the loved ones and everything.
How do you feel when you're on funeral detail?
Honored.
How do you instill esprit de corps in your unit?
I just talk to people the way that I would want to be talked to and treated. But if I have to go off, I will go off, and I will bring the pain. But when I do that, I make sure that they know why I'm bringing the pain, and tell them why. Show them in a way that shouldn't happen again. And I really do think, and this is my opinion. I look at everybody as a man and woman first. I don't look at PFC so and so. I look at Mr. and mistakes that people make in the military. We got to get past that. I'm on a PFC, so I'm not gonna think how to my rank. That's crap, because you're a grown man, a grown woman. So you're gonna think. You make decisions like you don't drink and drive. You don't friggin' say friggin'. You don't come to work without being that's just my pet peeve in right uniform. If you know, like my soldiers now, tell them, you need to go home at night and give the Army a half of your time. Make sure you got your right uniform ready for the next day. Make sure if you have any questions, you need to call somebody. Don't just sit around and wait, think because I'm a PFC that I'm not gonna get in trouble, because you will. When you say bring the pain, what does that entail? I just tell them. I sternly tell them. I sternly but respectfully tell them why they messed up. No, how did they mess up? Why did you do it? And how can we overcome the situation? Because nothing is to the point where you need to do something yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Nothing is more important than a person's safety and welfare. And nothing that no one's done in their life has to make them think that it's over, because it's not. Because next week it's gonna be a different time. So,
what sorts of punishments have you metered out as a platoon sergeant?
Pretty much staying with me. Coming in like a soldier missed formation one. Okay, you'll meet me at 0540. You will meet me at 1300. You will meet me at 700 wing ready to leave. So make sure that you at the right place, right time, right uniform. If it happens again, and I put it on paper, that's count statement, and we do corrective action. You can either write an essay on being on time. What does being on time mean to you? What does being in the right uniform mean to you? If it happens again, then you might receive some punishment.
Okay. Communications are crucial to units' ability to carry out a mission. How effective are formal announcements, staff meetings, training meetings, versus informal, such as rumors, emails, so forth, in communicating in your unit?
When I hear a rumor, I try to snuff it out quickly. I like to find out who said it, why they said it, and if it's valid. And if it's not valid, then I like to talk to my platoon, sit them all down, tell them, look, you might hear this. This is not the case. Like, for instance, like when you're down range, you hear a rumor, hey, we're going home early. Nope, we're not going home early. Or we're going home late. No, we're not going. We're leaving in this week, this time frame. Don't listen to, You know, 'cause that's probably one of the biggest things. I hate rumors. You know, it's just, you know, people's hopes get up, and if you hear a bad rumor, your hopes get down, and that could affect morale. You know.
The Post newspaper, the Guidon,
Mm-hmm.
the Army Times, Stars and Stripes, they have a military audience. Do you read these papers? Do you follow national news, local, hometown news?
I like national news.
Okay.
I don't read Army Times and like that.
You don't read the Army Times?
Nah.
Why is that?
I just don't. I just don't. I like to, because you'll hear about it. You'll hear about it, you know, and you pretty much know what's going on. Especially in the military. That's why I don't like to sit down and read.
You hear about it in what way?
I mean, like for instance, the pay raise coming up in January. I already know how much it's going to be. I already know when we're going to get paid, or deployments, or cutbacks. You know.
Is there any particular news outlet you follow? New kind of news stories or anything?
I like to watch Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace?
Yeah, I like watch Nancy Grace because she's probably one of the realest journalists out there right now that pretty much speaks the way that it should be spoken.
Do you appreciate people who speak in a straight manner?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Training is also important, so let's discuss that a
Okay.
little bit. Do you feel that the Army has prepared you sufficiently for each of your deployments?
Yes, for sure.
In what ways?
Well, for instance, like I said earlier, I was on a team where we went out and validated Afghan National Army units, and for 3 months, all we did was training on cultural training. We learned how to speak. We learned what not to do, what not to say. We learned of the area that we're going to, the people that we're going to be dealing with, so that really helped.
Just cultural sensitivity?
Yes.
Okay.
And also weapons training. They who they are. The Army has gotten to the point now where everybody has to be trained on the weapon. Everybody. Back then, when I first came in, it was more officers 9mm. But now everybody has to be trained on every weapon that's assigned to the unit, and I think that's very good. Everybody. You had the E7s back in the day that wouldn't qualify in a weapon, but now not only am I obligated to do it, but I like to do it because you never know. My last deployment, I had to actually shoot my weapon at somebody. So I feel that if I hadn't zeroed on my weapon or qualified on it, I could have probably got myself in a bad way.
So weapons. There's more weapons training.
Weapons training. There's more vehicle training. I mean, now it's going to the point now it's crazy now, which is good though.
What other sorts of? How else has training changed since you first came in?
It's gotten so. When I first came in, it wasn't more hands-on. It was more looking at a butcher board, reading, but now everything we do is hands-on. Everything we do is hands-on.
Does that work better? Do you think?
Yes, it does.
Do you think people learn better that way?
Yes, they do. They do.
You mentioned before. You said your unit was the second best unit.
Yes.
You think your unit's ready to deploy?
I would say not now. Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I think if we had to do it, we could do it. But I think coming off of Sea Smurf, we need time to start getting basic soldiering skills down. Like now, we're going to Fort Knox, range density, shooting heavy weapons. We're starting to transform to doing sergeant training again, doing training on Thursdays. So.
What is sergeant's time training?
That's when the sergeants have time with the soldiers, and you train them on basic soldiering skills like react to ambush, convoy procedures. The old way, the old school.
The old school?
Old school,
What
yeah.
does that entail?
It's like when I first came to the military. Like I said earlier, it was, I mean, sergeant training was painful. It was 5 hours of coming in. It could be 30 degrees. You'd be out there, but it would be pretty much looking at a board and just reading and doing little tasks. But now, everything we do has a purpose to it. Everything we do, everything.
Is that called, what is that called? Purpose-driven training?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
It means that not only am I telling soldiers what has to be done, but I'm telling them why it should be done, save their life in a battlefield life too. So,
is this more macro scale or more small unit training?
Small. It's small.
Okay. And training is organized, planned, conducted by leaders.
Yes.
So let's talk about leadership. Describe qualities of a bad leader.
Qualities of a good leader is standing out front, not having soldiers do something that you wouldn't do, having the being able to stand up for what's right, being able to accept all the blame and don't take glory for the good, because all we do as leaders, we just put out what needs to be done. Soldiers are out there doing the task, so you make sure that they're being rewarded. Bad leader, in my opinion, is someone that's like I said earlier, that doesn't do what he or she wouldn't do, but that will have the soldiers do. Not being knowledgeable. If you don't know something, just say, I don't know, because if you say you do know, then you go on a convoy and get somebody killed. So if you don't know something, you need to speak up and say, I don't know. And that's pretty much it.
Do you have a favorite mentor?
Yeah, Command Sergeant Major Elder.
Can you spell that?
E-L-D-E-R.
E-L-D.
Yeah.
And what about this person? It makes a good leader.
Professional. He was just so professional. He was hard. And he always taught me, he said, first thing you have to do, appearance is everything. When somebody roll up to your training event or roll up to your company, as long as it looks presentable, as long as you look you squared away, then that's half of the battle right there.
What is professionalism?
Professionalism is being a mentor, being someone that the soldiers can look up to and admire and would like to emulate. Being able to answer the hard questions and give the right answer at all times. Professional is someone that can bring a group together, group people together and make anything happen.
How do you mentor soldiers?
Like I said earlier, I treat them as they will want to be treated. I talk to them in a way where it's not being dictative. I would just tell them what needs to be done, and I would probably want to have a time. I would ask them, okay, this has to be done. How can we do it? And then they would give me feedback, and then I would make the decision. But getting soldiers involved in that stuff, I think the biggest thing is having compassion. I think that's huge. Having compassion. Let soldiers know. I've had soldiers come to me and things they tell me that I just couldn't believe, but for them to have that much faith in me, to tell me things they tell me, that's a good thing.
It sounds like the Army is less hierarchical than civilians might think it is.
Explain.
In terms of top-down communications, orders, everything comes from the top and you do what you're told and that's it. Is there?
No, it's not. I mean, that's how it probably used to be, but it's not that way anymore. It's so much. There's so much leeway you have now as a leader. It's you giving guidance. Like I have probably one of the best battalion commanders I ever had in my life. And best Sergeant Major Nolan.
I'm sorry, the best what?
But the best battalion commander I've probably ever had, Lieutenant Colonel Shirley and Commander Sergeant Major Nolan. You know, they give out guidance, and it's up to you to get it done. If you can't get it done, you can be mad to go tell me, sir, it's not going to happen. Wait, it's just it's not going to happen, you know. And they will get you, you know, either show you, because sometimes it's more like a test. You know, they want to see how far you can get without asking a question, or you're one of those person that like just blow things off. I don't like to blow things off. Things stress me. I mean, they really do.
What kind of things stress you?
Like people being on the right place, right time. You know, if I put out, okay, be here certain time, a certain uniform, I'm stressing because I'm hoping that they show up. Or when something has to be done, like a big mission comes up, it has to be done, and if it doesn't happen, then I bring the pain. But I make sure that it does happen. I mean, I put things in place to make sure it happens. I put backup to the backup to the backup. Because things, you know what I'm saying, things happen. You know, they happen.
Okay. How do you integrate soldiers?
Bring them in. First time I tell them, what you're probably bad about, I ask them, do you have a skeleton in your closet? When I say skeleton in your closet, do you have an issue that you bring it back from here, bring it here? Bring it back from your last unit, bring it here. Then half of them tell me, hey, son, okay, you know, I didn't want to bring this up, but she just said this. When my last unit, blah, 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 blah. Or some of them will be like, you know, oh no, I'm good to go. But then it all comes back though. It all comes back. You know, you sit them down, and you know when they come to you, they're parade rest. You no, have a seat. I want you to listen to what I'm telling you. Then we talk. Even my soldiers right now in formation. You know, we be in formation, and they'll be parade rest. Not tell everybody to relax. Take off your hats, because when I talk to you, I want everything to go from my mouth to your head, because the head blocks sometimes. So take off your hats, just relax. I'm going to listen to what I'm telling you. And yeah.
Okay. Those are good insights. I want to expand on your career a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What is a careerist?
If I be saying things to reading where somebody that's likes what they're doing, because there's no way I can be on all these years if I didn't like what I was doing. Probably the first 10 years of my career, I didn't like it, because it was just so it was so dictative. It was so I mean, it was y'all was gone from your family. I mean, we were always gone, doing field problems, doing whatever, you know. But now, Dorm has gotten to the point where we got to the point where we know we can do the mission, so we don't have to keep practicing, going to the field all the time, going setting up stuff, you know.
Do you consider yourself to be a career man?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And what makes a career?
In time, or
in your opinion, what makes a career?
Someone that can walk across the stage after 20 years of federal service and get that citation and be able to walk off that stage on your own 2 feet.
What does that mean, on your own 2 feet?
Not, well, no, I tell you what, not being, a career is someone that when he or she retires, that you retire on your own terms, not being mandated to retire, which happens a lot.
You want to retire when you want to retire, is that right?
2014, that's when I retired. I'd be 25 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah, almost quarter of a century, right?
Briefly, can you explain the Army's promotion process for enlisted soldiers?
It's going more toward civilian education now. You have to have education to get promoted now. I think that's huge, because it sets you up for you know, if you retire, or if you want ETS, which I don't know why you want ETS, but Yeah, I would say that. I would say probably the civilian aspect of it. You have to get education because if you don't, you won't get enough points to get promoted.
Do you feel your college education?
No, nah, not at all. Slacking, slacking big time.
It hasn't helped you in your military career?
As far as what?
In terms of getting promoted or in terms of anything else?
I think what helped me get promoted is I had some good report cards, my NCORs, and I've had good people under me to help me get promoted. And I've had people like Samuel the Elder that pushed me to get promoted.
So these are your leaders in the past?
Yes. And my subordinates.
How do your subordinates have helped you get promoted?
Like I said earlier, giving out the guidance, and they go out and they get the mission done. I tell myself all the time, put the monkey on my back. If something has to be done, I'm not gonna say I might get in trouble for this. Has to be done illegal. Not illegal, but has to be done. You have to go off the path and come back on. Then come and get me, tell me about it, and let me make the decision. So if something were to happen, it comes back on me, not on them. So you know what I'm saying, you can take what's your rank and handle. That's all. Because some things that would happen to them, they might get slammed. Me, I probably get a slap on the hand. Don't do it no more.
Do you find is punishment worse or better for NCOs versus younger enlisted soldiers, or is it just different? Or
punishment at the NCO level can be a career ender, put it like that. Like for instance, like a DUI. If you get DUI as a leader, you're done. If you get DUI as a soldier, you can come back from that because you have a whole career ahead of you. But being in 15, 16 years to get DUI, it's a done deal pretty much. That's it.
Is there a particular moment in your career that you think is sort of the pinnacle of your achievement, the high point?
Yes.
What would that be?
My last deployment, when my roommate got killed, and we had to push forward, and the way the Army trained me, I took charge. I led everybody to destination. We got there, we had to drive back the same route that we came on at night. And I took charge, and I was constantly on the radio talking. And when we got back, my team chief, Lieutenant Colonel, he was surprised. He was surprised because I'm not a ranger, I'm not a special force, I'm just a truck driver. But then when it came down to taking charge and leading,
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This was a time when you were in combat?
Yes.
Okay. And you received the Combat Action Badge?
Yes.
Can you tell me about your mission and what happened?
Yeah, we were going on a route that we went on like 3 or 4 times, and I was the 11th truck, he was the 13th truck, and I got hit by a 400-pound IED, and he was in a gun turret and just killed him instantly. He got killed instantly.
He was in a gun turret?
Yes.
What kind of vehicle was this?
MRAP.
An MRAP?
Yeah, it's a mine-resistant and bush-protected vehicle.
This was a new vehicle?
Yes.
Brand new?
It's been like 3 years of service, but it's like a tank, pretty much on wheels.
A tank on wheels?
Yes, yeah, pretty much a tank on wheels.
How high is it?
Probably about probably about 12 feet, 13 feet high. Off the ground.
The guy in the gun turret is pretty
high,
elevated off the ground.
Yeah, he was facing a blast when it went off.
He was facing the blast?
Yes.
Did it go off under the vehicle or to the side?
To the side, I think, like right off the road.
And where were you when this happened?
I was like 2 trucks up. I had just passed it. Just passed it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had to get out, and that's when we got shot at, and I had to shoot my weapon. So that was pretty much. Yeah.
He was your roommate?
Yes.
What was his job? What was his name?
Jake Whetten.
Whetten?
Yeah.
Can you spell that?
Whetten.
I'm sorry.
Whiskey Hotel, Echo, Tango, Echo November.
Okay. And what did he do? What was his primary MOS?
He was 11 Bravo. He was like he was a ranger.
But he was an infantry ranger.
Yes.
He got killed.
Yep.
But you didn't.
Yep.
And what did you do when the IED went off?
We just sat there for like 20 minutes, and then that's when you could hear the shooting, and we all had to get out, and we started shooting. Then after that, we when everything calmed down, then we got radio, and here we had 2 WIA and 1 KIA, and I just knew it was just Jake.
Who else were casualties?
The NCRIC and the highest ranking captain that we had on the team. He's paralyzed now, and the NCRC base got broken.
Were they in charge of the convoy?
No. We were riding with somebody, as a matter of fact. We were riding with a big element. They just let us ride with them so we can have support. Security support.
It's interesting that you said that was a high point in your career.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe a low point in your career?
Low point in my career. Probably one of the lowest points was I haven't had many low points.
Really?
I mean, nothing that I could think of right now. We all human. We all get pissed. We all get mad. I mean, that's part of life. But I really had a point. Probably when I was, let me think. Probably when I first came to the military, and I can't think of any. Well, I mean, part of the worst night of my life was when we went to NTC, National Training Center, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was raining and it was cold, and our bags got wet, and I just to the point that I just wanted to quit. But I mean, I haven't had really a low point in my career.
You wanted to quit then?
Oh yeah.
Why didn't you? Why didn't you just say, "I'm done. I had it"?
Obligation to my country, wife and kids. So, yeah. My wife would have killed me.
She would have killed you?
Yeah, she would have killed me.
How come?
Quitting. Yeah, she hates that.
She doesn't like a quitter?
Mm-mm. Failure is not even an option in my house.
In your house, no failure.
Mm-mm.
Failure not an option. Okay. I want to shift focus a little bit to 9/11, Global
Mm-hmm.
War on Terror.
Mm-hmm.
What is the Global War on Terror?
It is is our obligation as a supreme power to eradicate any kind of terrorism, be it domestic, abroad. It doesn't matter. No one should live in. No one should have a life of fear.
When you say our, who do you mean?
Everybody, not even military. Everybody has an obligation.
Everybody in the world. Everybody or in the
United States. And I really mean, and I really believe in that. So we all have an obligation.
Okay. So we all have obligations, but not everyone should serve.
Yes. No, everyone shouldn't serve. It's some people that don't just not cut out for.
How should people express this obligation, do you think? People who are civilians?
To point out things that they see. Usually if you see something wrong, you just need to tell somebody.
Would that be vigilance?
Yes, vigilance.
Okay. A lot of, excuse me, 10 years after 9/11, a lot of people can still remember exactly what they were doing, what was going on. Can you remember what was going on?
I was on leave. I was driving for a general then at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and I was in the bed watching divorce court. That's what I was doing. I was in divorce court.
Watching divorce court.
I got pissed off when, I keep saying the pissed off word. I got upset when I was watching divorce court and they was about to come back to the verdict, and then the first plane hit the building. I was like, man, they cut my divorce court off. Not thinking to anybody, you know. I didn't see the plane hit the building. They were saying a plane hit the building, but I'm like one of smaller planes. And then they showed I just couldn't believe it. Then the second plane hit, and I just got on the telephone. I called my job, and I was told to stand by the telephone, and that's pretty much what I did.
How did you feel? You said shock.
Pissed off. Yeah. Very, very upset. Cowards. The kind of person that if you want to harm me, you need to come to my face. Don't, you know, those cowards in Iraq and Afghanistan putting IEDs on the side of the road. You don't know how that's going to affect somebody's life. You know, this guy Jake, you know, 31 years old, had a 10-year-old daughter. You know, and the guy that killed him doesn't even know what dreams he had or anything like that. You know, that's just pissed. That upsets me. That's why I'm very hard on my daughters, and they know it too. I don't tolerate anybody putting their hands on my daughter or calling them out of their name because, you know, it's cowards.
You're protective of your family?
Yes.
You describe asymmetrical tactics, people who use asymmetrical tactics as being cowards.
They're cowards.
How else are they cowards, or how else might you describe?
You know, like on the fobs, like the Afghans or Iraqis, you know, they actually work on a fob, but you never know who's that person that's a spy or who's that person that the first chance he gets, he's gonna put a bullet in the back of your head or a knife through your throat. You know, so I mean that's the way I feel. But I always treat them though respect. I never talk down to them. I always see them, I shake their hand. You know, but you ever took that chance at all times? That's why you always, you know, when I walk away, I always kind of glance back. You know, just to, you know, make sure.
You're very mistrustful of the people that you come in contact with on deployment?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You've deployed 6 times.
Yes.
Since enlisting. Did you think when you enlisted that you would be deployed soon?
No. I mean, when I first came in the Army in 1989, and we deployed to Desert Storm, Desert Shield in October '90, I would never thought that. Never. And I've been years I thought I'd be fighting in the war, but it happened though.
How do you deal with multiple deployments?
It's pretty much gotten easier now. And my wife's kids are older now. I mean, my kids are older now, so they know. Plus, you know, from when I first deployed in 1990, I didn't get mail for like, no, I had just met my wife, so we were like boyfriend and girlfriend, but we like engaged, and I didn't get mail for like a month. And one day I just sat down and wrote a nasty letter. I said, you blah 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 blah. I just cursed it out and I put it in the mailbox. Then the next day I got like this much mail, and I'm like, oh. You know, you couldn't call home because we didn't have phones back then. So then was times where you would get on the truck when they would like a phone run. You were like 3 hours in the desert, like at night and bumpy roads. Get to the phone center, get on a telephone call, and no one's at home. You know. Now I start cursing again, but it's gotten easier though because you have Skype, you have computers, computer labs on the files. Now you have telephone. You call. Like my wife, I saw her every morning. I saw her when she came out for lunch, and I saw her at night every day. When I was back on the farm, every day, and that helped out a lot. My kids too. So even like Christmas time, they put the computer by the tree and everybody. So yeah, it's definitely got a lot better.
So communications have gotten easier.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In what other ways has deployment today differed from when you were first in the Army?
It's a lot more preparing to do a mission. Like for instance, like when I first came in the military, you would just be, hey, we're leaving tomorrow morning, be ready to go. But now, you know, you do briefs. I mean, you do rock drills. I mean, they actually set where you're going, where you're gonna stop, what you might see. You know what I'm saying? So it's gotten a lot better.
Is it just training has gotten better, or are there other things?
Living conditions. I mean, I lived my first deployment. I lived in a truck for like 4 months. You can imagine sitting in a truck, looking at the desert for 4 months, not doing anything. That was probably now that could probably been the lowest point of my career. Now I think about it, that's probably like when Desert Shield first kicked off and we left December, January, February. We sat out in the desert in the trucks for like 3 months. That was hard. We didn't have anything except each other. You know, and I got tired with, you know, so that was pretty bad.
Did you get on each other's nerves after
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When you first deployed with these guys, were you good friends, good buddies, or did you hardly know them, or?
We were all good friends.
So there weren't any real personality conflicts or problems or anything like that?
I mean, that's happened all the time. Yeah, I mean, it was some, but we were all young, real young back then, and you know, people fight, people argue, you know, people get on each other's nerves. But when it's time to do something, we all came together, so it wasn't really an issue. Plus, we had good NCOs back then too. They would actually come grab you and like, hey, you know, putting your butt up, or so.
So you didn't like living in a truck?
No, that was probably the worst time of my life, living in that truck for like 3 months.
Does that include eating, sleeping?
Yeah, everything in that truck.
Everything?
Everything.
Going to the bathroom?
No, not going. Well, when you drive, you got to use the bathroom, but it's like in a bottle though, so it wasn't bad.
Okay. What do you do with the bottle when you're done? Toss it out the window, huh?
Toss out the window.
Okay. Some soldiers have not deployed as much as you have. There's probably about a third of the Army that hasn't deployed. What do you think about that?
I knew you were going to ask that. Okay, this is my opinion, and my opinion only. I don't know how you could be a leader and not deploy. I really don't. You know, we all have our issues. Like my last deployment, when I was on the mid team, you know, we had some I was 40 years old and carrying a 65-pound IBA, that's like our vest with a place in it, for a year. You know, I had to really push myself because it was real hard. But coming back and seeing people just never deploy, it amazed me that it's never deployed. I mean, I would be kicking the door down because what's going to happen once all the deployments calm down, and then you become a leader, and you have a squad full of everybody that's deployed but you. You know. But that's just my opinion, though.
So what do you think of other soldiers that haven't deployed?
Well, maybe some of them that haven't deployed. I would say the ones that just came in, okay, got that, you just came military. But people 10, 11 years in the military, you know, it makes me think why. But I don't question them. I don't ask them why. But why haven't you, you know, when we done like 10 years of deployments, you haven't had a chance to deploy yet?
Let's say you're a platoon sergeant. Let's say you get a new platoon leader right out of training, hasn't deployed yet with you.
No, that's cool. Because she just came, so that's no issues whatsoever.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
No problem?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. But, you know, being deployed so much, you know, I tell her sometimes, hey, just let me, I got this. You know, this is the way the book said, but this is the way that we do it now. Because the books that we have, some of them are outdated, so you can't really go by the book all the time. You have to go by real life situations. You know.
Can you expand on real life situations versus learning from a book?
I mean, that's pretty much in the civilian world too. I would recommend. I would probably say the same thing. You know, you get a guidebook saying, okay, you will come in tomorrow at 06, and 6 o'clock in the morning, and you will be ready to go by 6:45. But the way the Army is now, with all the gear that we have right now, there's no way you can be ready in 45 minutes. You have to come in an hour and a half early to make sure you're ready to go. So, you know, stuff like that. You know, or you will have on your person your magazines on your left pocket. Well, what if I'm a right-handed shooter? I want it right here. So, you know, stuff like that.
So how important is uniformity downrange?
It's very important in certain things because you need to know what certain things are at. Like, for instance, when we go downrange, I make sure my soldiers have their tourniquets right here on the left pocket. I make sure that I know where the tourniquet is at, so if something was to happen, they start to bleed out, I know where to get the tourniquet at, pull it out, put it on them. In the vehicles, I make sure that all of the combat lifesaver bags, that has like the band-aids, all stuff, making sure it's in one spot so we all know where it's at. I make sure that the manifest, and we go outside the gate, that everybody's in the seat that they're assigned to on a piece of paper. If something was to happen, we know where the person's at.
Okay. Units conduct after-action reviews, find lessons learned. Have you been a part of that?
Yes.
And what part did you play in that?
I wasn't really the facilitator. Well, the last deployment I was more facilitator. I was asked, you know, what happened when we left, what happened during the mission, what happened once we arrived at the location, you know, what could have been done better, what could have been done, you know, what did we have to do, stuff like that. We just tend to talk about it.
Is this just in your platoon or in the company or higher echelons, or
it was in like our section.
Your section?
Yeah.
Did your section participate in an AAR for your company or the battalion or anything like that?
Company, okay. Yes.
Do you know what the results were of that?
They were all productive. I mean, it's a lot of crap that we used to do that we don't do anymore. A lot of I don't say nonsense, but a lot of things that we could have been stressing on more, that we were stressing on something that shouldn't even been, you know, worried about.
So did you shift training focus then after an AAR?
Yes. Okay.
What sorts of things fell away? What sorts of things got strengthened?
Well, nothing really fell away. It was more stressing on our mission, things that we do like convoys, how to react to an ambush, stuff like that. You know, we're not, you know, I'm not saying we're not worried about doing a 3 to 5 second rush, but, you know, at our position, at our job, if we gotta do that, then we lost the war in a way, because we like truck drivers, so we're not gonna be go. We're not gonna be doing anything like that, you know.
So primarily, do you see yourself as a truck driver, or as a soldier, or an NCO, or platoon leader, or?
I am right now in my career more of a leader. I don't drive anymore. I mean, I will drive, but I'm more the person that's on the radio, making sure no one gets lost, making sure everybody's in the right uniform, making sure that's my job right now. I mean, I do miss that, because it was a lot more simpler back then. I just had to worry about the main person in my truck, but now I have to worry about 25 trucks with 50, 60 people, you know. Something will happen, they're gonna automatically point at you. Not they're gonna automatically point at you, but it's gonna be more assumed that you didn't do something right, or, you know.
Okay. The ratio of women to men in the Army today is about 15%. What is the ratio in your platoon?
About half.
About half?
Yeah, because we have the warehouse, which, you know, it's like dealing with a lot of parts.
So you're in charge of males and females?
Yeah.
Do you think, in your opinion, does either gender make a better soldier? Or?
Believe it or not, the females,
Really?
they do. They do. They're a lot less. They're more they're more willing to go above and beyond, you know, the extra mile than the male, and that's what I've even seen when I was an AIT instructor. You know, the new females come in. It's like, I mean, they spot on. Some of the males, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know why it's like that right now. I really don't. I don't know what's going on right now with that. But that's just my opinion, and that's something Craven thinks. But I would say the females. Females are a lot more. They're a lot more focused. You know, I would say focused. I mean their appearance, everything. Male comes in with just looking like hot garbage. I mean, straight mess, hot mess is what we call them, hot mess. But females tend to come in, you know, they look presentable. They're willing to listen, to do the mission, you know, without paying as much, you know. And, you know, you can ask female. I'm the kind of person, I like to work on people's strong points, like a female. Hey, I wouldn't ask Joe Snuffy to write or type something I know that James Snuffy could do it better. I don't like doing it. I like to put people in their strong points and make sure that I can't think of the word. Make sure their strong points. For one thing, would cause less stress, because if I have a female or a male, if I have a male that I know can go out there and change a tire on a truck by himself with no problems, I'm not gonna ask a female to do it by herself, because she'll go out there. Don't get me wrong, she'll try, but it'll be so stressful for her. Unless we're like in an environment that she has to do it. But like in garrison, I like to work on people's strong points. You know.
In what way do you work on?
Like for instance, I got a female. She does all of the clerical, everything. She you know, she's pregnant, but we task her, hey, just make sure that you like for instance, we did like a fundraiser for some plaques for those guys who leave. I put her in charge. I say, bring all money to her. She'll make sure, and she did an outstanding job. But the male soul, just like, you know, a male soul would be like, you know, well, he didn't give. A female soul would do that. They'd be like, hey, son, okay, this is what I have, you know. So I mean, females are pretty much the same as males, but some things females can't do by themselves. You can't change a tire. One of the big tires on the truck, there's no way. There's no way. I've seen it done. I mean, the tools that we have weigh more than some of the females that we have. So I would probably put a male and female together, or two females together. But having one female do it by herself, never.
That's interesting. I want to ask you, you're authorized to wear the unit insignia of former wartime service, which is called a combat patch. Which insignia do you prefer?
First calf.
First Cav?
Yeah.
Why that one?
Because that's my first deployment. Yep.
Is that the only reason?
I would say because my first deployment, and that's the first time that, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's my first deployment. It's the first time that, I mean, because I was so proud when I got that patch on my right shoulder. I mean, I was so proud. Then for 2 or 3 years, when everybody got out of the military, it wasn't many of us left with combat patches on. You know, because everybody got out of the military, so it wasn't that many people left. So I was so proud of that patch.
This was during Desert Storm?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had issues with it? Has anyone ever tried to tell you to take it off for a different patch?
Never. No.
Okay. What was the first thing you noticed about, well, Iraq for OIF, Operation Iraqi Freedom, that was different from Afghanistan or previous deployments to Desert Storm?
OIF was more of, I would say probably no restrictions. I mean, we had to go in there and handle business. There's no going to the border and stopping. I mean, we had to go in there and take Saddam out of power. The first war was like, okay, get out of Kuwait and don't come back. But this time we had to go in there and handle business. So.
And handle business meant what?
Going there and taking him out of power. And also showing the Iraqis that that's a better time and that's a better time of living than the way they were living with Saddam Hussein.
Was it primarily focused on take out Saddam Hussein?
And also probably preventing him from harboring terrorists and also having those weapons that he had, because people say about the weapons of mass destruction, we never found them, but I'm a firm believer that if he had stayed in power, that we'd have probably had a World War III on our hands. I really do think that.
So you think the preemptive strike was a good thing, no matter what?
Yes.
Okay. What year did you participate in OIF?
02, 03.
2003?
Yes.
Okay. And when were you in Afghanistan?
From 05, 06, and from 09, 2010. Yeah.
So you were in Iraq twice, really, in
Yes.
Afghanistan twice.
Yes.
How are the Afghanis similar or different from Iraqis?
I knew you were going to ask that. The Iraqis are more civilized. They're smart, a lot smarter. A lot smarter.
Smarter how?
As far as education-wise, they're the way they present themselves, they're more professional, looking anyway. They have a lot of more. You got TVs. They have. I mean, it's a lot more civilized in Afghanistan.
In Iraq, the sorts of people you came in contact with, were they more soldiers or civilians? Was it in marketplace or village leaders or?
Soldiers, civilians.
Soldiers and civilians?
I say soldiers.
Iraqi soldiers?
Yeah.
What is your opinion of the typical Iraqi soldier fighting skill?
It's not as bad. It's not as good as ours, but I mean, I was impressed. I mean, they're pretty smart, and they want to learn too. Yeah, for sure do.
How was Afghanistan? Was it a better place to be?
No. That was it's a place where I wouldn't want to live in or ever visit or ever go back. But if I had to go back, I would go back. But yeah, it was. That's causing me to be the way I am right now. Being more attentive around my surroundings, more appreciative of what I have. Yeah. But one thing I did in Afghanistan is that I never demean those people. I never talk down to them. Never. No matter if they come to me and look like a hot mess. I mean, I would never, never talk to. No, I'm a believer in that too. Even no matter who I meet, I never talk to anyone the way I would want to be talked to. I'm just firm believer that. Firm believer. You treat people the way you want to be treated. Put it like that.
You talked earlier about mistrust.
Yes.
Was it just mistrust of them, or did you feel any mistrust from them or issues from them or anything like that?
It was probably just things that you hear on TV, about this Afghan soldier being here for such and such a long time, and he ends up shooting like 3 people, or just like for us, we were our mission. We only had 6 people on our team, and we would go to an A&A unit with like 300 people, so just us 6 and those 300 people, and all we would do is we would work at the battalion level, and we would follow around that like S4 supply. Like it's my job. That week I'll follow him around, but you go into a room with room full of Afghans, so you never know who's that one. You always looking around, and I mean, I'm a big guy too, so it's probably intimidating to some, because they're real small, but there's some of them, they look you right in your face, and I look right in their face, and I have my hand on my weapon like this. I'm a 9mm. Because you never know, and I don't want to get that time I found out my wife and kids saying I got killed over there by being complacent. If I go out, it's gonna be on fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be me walking down the road and just, so.
How much, if any, do you think national media contributed to your perceptions of what Iraqis and Afghanis were?
Very little, because we were trained on how it was. I don't feed into that crap. Watching the news and they're saying this, and I don't feed it, because especially going over there, I tell my wife all the time, you don't believe what you hear. I couldn't say what I wanted to say, and I won't say it here, but I just tell them, do not believe what you hear, because it's not always saying. Those are some good people over there. They are. Some of them actually want to live a better life, but especially in Afghanistan, being that you're in a village with elders, it's like being in prison almost, because you have to do what they say at all times. You can't speak your mind. You can't,
You have to self-censor?
Yeah, yes.
Excuse me. So how is it different? Things that are, give me an example of something that may have been reported in national media that you thought was not as honest, not accurate.
I would say one thing that I saw, which is the way we were mistreating these people over there, I think was blown out of proportion. I really do. I think things happen over there, but I think you don't saw a glimpse of things that, like in a firefight, you have a Afghan guy that's on the ground, or Iraqi, or anybody, and he's begging you to kill him because he's suffering so bad because he's been injured, and then somebody ends up doing that, and then it just blows out of proportion that you killed this man, and I don't know.
Did that ever happen to you?
No, never happened to me. Never.
Okay. But this is a story you heard about?
Yeah. On news all the time. As I would listen to the news, because over there, you were so bored. You had to read it. You had to listen to the news like every day, because they know pretty much what's going on more than you can know.
Last month, there were 3 soldiers from the 4th MEB that died in Afghanistan. Did you know them well at all?
No, I was in school, as a matter of fact. I found out at school.
You found out at school?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you take the news?
I mean, it doesn't matter if I didn't know them. I still felt for them and their families.
Okay. Your job in Afghanistan, you served as part of the validation transition team.
Yes.
And you've talked a little bit about that.
Yes.
What exactly is this?
We have it was a 7-man team. We had a lieutenant colonel. We had an Australian major. We had 3 captains and 3 sevens. And we all had our own special part to go look at and give a thumbs up, thumbs down. Mine was maintenance and supply. Then we had 1 captain that was in charge of commo. Then we had 1 captain that was in charge of S2 security. And we had the lieutenant colonel was pretty much overshadowing the Cantigny, which is the battalion commander, just watch how he operates. And then we would be there for like a week, and then we would compile all our notes, and then we would do a out brief with the battalion staff, with the Afghans, and tell them what they were good and what they were bad at, and then we would say, okay, you are a CM1, which is CM1 is like able to do missions on your own with little help, or CM2, you're able to do missions on your own, but you need more help than than CM3. You need a lot of help.
And your part was maintenance supply.
Yeah.
Did you just shadow your counterpart?
Yes, that's all I did.
And that's it?
I checked the motor pool. I checked his maintenance records, supply. I checked how he was tracking parts coming in, parts going out. Make sure that nothing was being stolen or mysteriously disappearing.
How do you do that?
I checked just the records. I checked because each Cantigny had an omelet. That was a I forgot what it was called. I know it was a mentoring liaisons team. It was either Romanians, Bulgarians, and they would like show them how to do things, and then we would come in and grade them. Just make sure that they're doing the way they're supposed to be done.
So someone else would train them, and
yes.
then you would grade them?
Yes.
Okay. How well did they perform?
Better than expected.
What did you expect?
Hot mess, garbage. Yeah, it was. I mean, some of them were stronger than others. But you got to think about it. Being in the military that they were in, and then trying to transform into it's not the American way, but I guess the NATO way of doing things is, and it's only been, I say, about 6 years of them trying to do that. They're doing pretty good. I mean, having M16s, having Humvees that they never,
The Afghanis are now using U.S. NATO equipment?
Yes.
Is that the same with Iraqis?
Yeah, not as much, I don't think. I wasn't really dealing with Iraqis. I was just going on missions, but being with ANA, I was there with them every day,
Was their equipment, in your opinion, up to standards usually, the Afghanis?
For them it was. I mean, to fight the Taliban, I think so.
to fight the Taliban.
Yeah, because they had the Humvees with the Stage 1 armor, which the Taliban didn't have. They had the weapons, ammunition, they had the training, how to shoot their weapons, and then they had our support too, so.
Was this U.S. or Afghani armor support?
If it got really bad with U.S., I mean, it got really bad, but they were pretty much.
Okay. They had armored Humvees. You said Stage 1.
Yeah, like the first armor that ever came on the Humvees, like in 2002.
Is this the ceramic up armor?
Yes.
The first up armor?
Yeah, first up armor.
Okay. So you think they're now well equipped?
Yes. I mean they couldn't fight us head on, but to fight the people with turbans on and car was over there throwing, yeah. But the biggest thing I saw was each team had a region. Yeah, like when we deployed, we had like 35 people on the team. You had 7 here, you had 7 north, 7 south. I was in the worst part of the south. I was around Kandahar, Helmand, Zabul. So the soldiers there were probably the most elite because they had to be, because they were constantly getting ambushed or getting killed. I mean, it was every day somehow was happening, every day in the south. It was a lot of people going AWOL in the south because
Afghanis?
Yes, because you're the almost saying about I'm in the south, I'm getting paid the same as the guy in the north or the east or the west, and I'm getting shot at every day, and some of them, I mean, I was told that someone would come into the army, get the training, and just go back home and just work, So
now, in Afghanistan, did you travel to different training bases?
All the time.
Okay. Were you always traveling, always on the road?
Always.
You didn't have like a home base or anything?
Yeah,
like that?
on Kandahar.
Okay. Afghan President Hamid Karzai has stated in the past that Pakistan was supporting the Taliban.
Mm-hmm.
A week ago, he remarked that his country would support Pakistan if it went to war against the United States. I don't know.
I did not know that.
Okay. Now that you know that, what do you think?
Suicidal. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Do you think that might be sincere, or is that more political posturing?
Political. He's an idiot.
He's an idiot?
Well, no, he's not an idiot. He's just, the way he talks is crazy. I don't know the man even call me idiot, but the thing is, for him to say some crap like that after all we did, that really upsets me, because I had a lot of good friends die over there for his country. I did not know that.
Before hearing this, what did you think of him as a president?
I think he's brave to do that. I really do. I just couldn't imagine, the pressure he's under, because even the Afghans, I guess, don't too much care for him. Well, some of them in a way call him a U.S. president, whatever. But then having to deal with the Taliban, I mean, he's been there for a while and he's still living, so.
Do you think he's sort of a puppet president, or is it just a difference of opinion?
I think difference of opinion. I don't think so.
Okay. President Obama is pledged to...
I'm glad you said that. I hate when people say Obama or Bush. When you said that, that really upsets me. I hate people say that.
Just his last name?
Yeah. I mean, even President Bush. I just hate when people just say Bush or Obama. That just, yeah.
What is it about you? What is it about that bothers you?
Because they are president. You shouldn't. I wouldn't call my first son Clem. And that's respect. I just. Even on post, I have to correct people all the time. Look, He's not your brother. He's not your cousin. He's the president. You call him President Obama. You know, or even my wife, I tell her, no, but she knows. She knows better though. She calls him President Obama.
Okay.
It's not a black or white thing. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
He has pledged to withdraw from Iraq by
Yes.
the end of the year. Do you think this is realistic?
In my opinion, if he says it is, yes, because I'm pretty sure that they went through everything they looked at and probably think this is probably now or never. I mean, of course, they're gonna still have bombs over there. It's not gonna ever go away. But if President Obama thinks that, and his staff think that it's time for us to go, then it's time for us to go. Afghanistan's something different. I don't think we're ever gonna. It's gonna be a long time before we leave Afghanistan.
You think U.S. forces are ready to withdraw from Iraq?
Yes, I do. I think that, and I think that it will be a small force still over there, like mentors still over there, just helping out. It would not having any kind of big, you know, a big role in anything anymore. I don't think so. I think it'll be like us, like the mentors helping them out still for another couple of years, whatever. Make sure they're good to go.
So you think it won't be a complete withdrawal?
Nah, I can't see it. I mean, that's the same thing with Bosnia. I mean, we've been in Bosnia since, we're still over there right now. Small force over there somewhere, or in Kosovo. But having divisions over there now, or even battalions over there now, it's not going to happen anymore. Which is probably a good thing. Those people can do it on their own now.
So you think we're still going to go over there, training, validation, things of that nature?
Yeah.
Mentorship?
I think we'll have to for a while, because you got to keep the check on learning. You can't just withdraw and just not go back over and make sure everything, because everything you work for, everybody got killed over will be for nothing. Then they fall back into the old regime. So yeah.
After this withdrawal, maybe sometime in the future, do you see yourself maybe deploying back to Iraq as a validator, trainer?
Man, I just got an email a couple of weeks ago asking me what I volunteered. I'm not. I mean, if I have to go, I'll go back. But I'm not. My last department, I volunteered for my. Cause I want to stay on Fort Leonard Wood a little bit longer, and my daughter was in high school, so I did it really for her. But
You volunteered to
go on his mid team on the to go back over there.
Okay.
Because if I did, I can come back to Fort Leonard Wood, and my daughter will graduate from high school.
Okay.
So I took the bullet for that one, but I won't.
Okay.
I mean, that's not have to.
Is she already graduated? Or?
Yeah, she's in college now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is she going to college?
OTC, Ozark Technical College, in Lebanon, Missouri.
What is she studying?
Nursing.
Okay. Is that a good field, do you think?
Yeah, that's good field. You always need a nurse or a soldier, so either way.
Okay. Now, where did this email come from?
You know, something. I think it was my team chief. I think it's my team chief. I think.
Now that sounds to me like informal sorts of communications. Do you still feel that formal communications are better for disseminating information?
Yes. Yeah. I do, because things will fall through the crack if it's informal. You know, if it's structured and tell you exactly, you just don't get email. Hey, do you want? You know, why do I want to do this? When am I leaving? You know, who am I going with? You know, if it's informal, it's like, hey, do you want to volunteer? No.
Okay. For the U.S. to withdraw from Afghanistan, what do you think needs to happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I would think if they could afford to build a 400 feet wall and pack off Pakistan, Afghanistan, I think that would be a plus. But I really don't know. I really, just, and being with those people, the Afghans, and seeing what they do at that level, I really don't. I don't think that they're ready to bow down right now. I think it's, No, they're not ready. They're not ready. There's too much religious stuff over there, too much tribal stuff right now. So.
Thank you for sharing. We've covered a lot of material. I want to ask you just a couple more questions.
Okay.
If you were in charge and could change one thing about the Army, what would it be?
If I were in charge and if I could, I would weed out quickly the soldiers who do not need to be in the military because they're cancer. They're taking time away from leaders like myself, dealing with their problems. The problem that some people have, I'm not going to talk about them, but it's off the chain. Once out the chain, it's things and you know, you can talk to them, you can tell them, hey, do this. And I tell my soldiers all the time, I said, you know, you're E4 or low, you got the easy job in the world. Just be at the right place, right time, right uniform. That's it. You know, like myself, if you do something stupid, they're gonna look at me first. Like, what did you do? Like in a DUI, what did you do to make sure so you know stuff like that? You know, but I tell them, you know, but they're hard headed and they'll see. You know, I would definitely get rid of people in the military that do not deserve to be soldiers. I would do it so quickly. I mean, 2 weeks, get them out.
Wow.
I would.
What, in your opinion, are people who deserve to be in the Army?
People who have pride. To me, first impression, last impression. If you come to me and you have a nice looking uniform on, if you're doing PT in the morning and you're running and you're giving, no matter if we do a run and you don't make it, at least you give it all that you have. If you come up with constructive answers during AAR, I mean, if you stay out of trouble, if you don't make this, I mean, we're not perfect. I mean, people make mistakes. If you don't make the dumb mistakes like DUIs or hitting your spouse or especially doing drugs, I mean, you know. But things happen though. It's a decision that the soldiers make now. I don't understand it. Some of them.
Have you had issues in the past where you had to get soldiers discharged?
Yes, I have. Sadly, yes, I have.
How often?
Just lost 2 about a month and a half ago. Married, you know, 2-3 kids. It's just some people, things are not tolerated. You don't put your hands on your wife or your husband. You do not just not come to work. You know, that's one of the biggest things. Like, people feel like they can just, you know, because in the Army you don't take pay, which I wish they would. I wish it would come a way they could just dock your pay. If you don't show up on time, if you're late, I mean, you know, stuff like that.
Well, what about non-judicial punishment as a way to take a soldier's time or pay? Have you used that?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What were the circumstances?
Like I said, DUI, spousal abuse, not being on time for formation, not being the correct uniform for formation, or disrespect, which I don't allow at all. It's probably my biggest pet peeve, disrespect.
In your opinion, is the Army more or less disciplined than it was when you first came in?
More. It's now, when I first came in, was just get in where you fit in. Now, we have values, we have code of conduct. It's the soldiers now, and I tell them every day, I say they are a lot smarter than what I could ever be. I mean, it's amazing. It's truly amazing.
What makes them smarter?
It starts, I would say, probably basic training AIT when they first come in. They learn so much stuff. It's just amazing. They learn how to carry their weapon. They learn how to react to certain things. You know, they learn how to. And I think also with my generation, the people that have had kids and come to the military, they've kind of already showed them the way. You know.
Do you think soldiers with families make better soldiers or worse soldiers, or
Better,
why is that?
because they have obligations. Plus, I can pick the phone up and call their wife like when I want to. Hey, soldier's about to get in trouble because he's not doing this, not doing that. That's keeping it like the lowest level. If someone misses formation, I'm like, hey, you need to make sure that your husband comes to work on time, or it's going to happen.
Okay. What about these obligations make better soldiers?
Financial obligations that they have. I'm also going to say one of the things too is probably you have two young couples that are friends. You have a E2 Joe, you have an E2 Snuffy. Both families about the same age. They're all friends. But then you have E2 Snuffy making E3, and the other guy still E2. You have the other guy making E4, E2, and that plays a lot in the two.
Okay. Thank you. You with the First Infantry Division,
Mm-hmm.
and when was that?
That's when I was on the mid team.
Oh, okay, in Afghanistan?
Yeah, yep.
Now, were you attached to that unit or organically deployed with them, or how did that work?
We were just on a mid team. You fall on the first ID for everything, training. We wore the patch down range and everything. So like we were in First ID. It was like a specialized unit.
Okay.
Though, that's all.
So you were assigned to the First ID?
Yes.
In Afghanistan?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So what was their mission? What was the whole First ID mission there?
When I went to Afghanistan, First ID wasn't even there. It was like the small teams that were there for my First ID.
Did you ever conduct any kind of integration or receive any training about the First ID, their history, background, things of that nature?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you learn about the First Infantry?
The heritage. We had to learn the First ID song, Toast of the Army's favorite song. Well, to the big red one. Yeah, we had to learn that. We had to not only learn it, but know what it meant. We learned about the code of conduct. First ID is held to higher standard than most places I've been. And either you're gonna soldier up, or you're gonna fall by the wayside. First ID.
How are the standards higher?
Just are. You're First ID is probably one of the most premier divisions in the Army, along with Third ID, First Cav. So, when you think of war, you think of First ID, Third ID, you think of First Cavalry Division.
So you volunteered to be on this team.
Yes.
Were you aware that it was a part of the First ID?
Yes.
And you volunteered to be a part of that?
Yes. And that's one of the reasons because I knew that it was going to be squared away.
Squared away in what way? What does squared away mean?
Squared away means everything was going to be in place. Everything that we need to know about our mission, we're going to definitely do it. Training, everything we did.
Were you proud to be?
Yes.
With
Yes.
them?
Yes.
Are you still proud?
Yes.
The people you were with over there, did they seem as proud as you were?
Yes. Yes, they did. We all, when we were there, we all put our patches on, our combat patch on the same day. The big red one patch, like it was like a ceremony we did. It's our team.
You were in the Army when it switched to the beret.
Yes.
Well, what did you think about that?
Stupid.
Why is that?
It just was. I mean, I think it. I mean, I just think it took from the being more of a garrison soldier than being, because to me, you were beret with your dress uniform. You don't wear it in your battle dress or your army combat uniform. You don't wear it with that. That's my opinion.
Okay, so the beret is more colorful, more of a dressy thing?
Yeah.
Do you think in a garrison environment, should soldiers wear the patrol cap or the beret?
Patrol cap.
Okay.
Always ready.
Okay. You have a unique opportunity today to help civilians understand your world, your life. If there was only one thing that you could say to civilians, what would it be?
If I could say one thing to a civilian.
If you could say, if there was one thing that you wanted us to know about that I haven't asked about,
I would say that we take our job very seriously, and we do this thing because we love it. Sometimes when I get home at night, in the morning time, when I get up in the morning, I know that this is something that I love to do, and sometimes I'm not feeling it, getting up in the morning, running 3, 4, 5 miles, but this is the obligation that I have not only to myself but to my country, to go out and do everything I need to do that day to make me a better person and make my soldiers better people. And I would ask our civilians to support the military in every way. You know, we have people, I call them nuts, that are out there at funerals with posters saying another dead soldier, all this other crap. I'll just ask that you all talk to your congressmen, representatives, to get that kind of stuff banned, because I think it's disrespectful. Because we all volunteer to do this, and we do it because we love our country, and we do it for the love of our wife, our loved ones. We want to keep everybody safe. That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about?
That's it.
Okay.
It's past 2 hours.
On behalf of myself, my family, the university, and our nation, I want to thank you, Sergeant First Class Craven, for coming in here and talking with us and for serving our country.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you.